Hey everyone, welcome back to She Burbs Podcast. I am your host, Brook, Wright.
Hey everyone, welcome back to She Burbs Podcast. Today's guest is Teddy. Hi Teddy.
Hi, how you doing, Brook?
I'm good. I'm so excited to have you on.
Oh, I'm excited to be here.
So can you tell our listeners what inspired you to start making music and start being a drummer?
It was something that just happened to me, okay? And I was young, okay? I'm 69 years old, so this was a while ago. This happened when I was like 11, all right?
Wow.
And I had never played a musical instrument or anything up until that point. And I had gone to a girlfriend's birthday party, and she had an older sister who was like 14 or something, who back in the day had a little Victrola record player, and she put this 45 on at this party, and it was the Kingsmen, Brother Louie, or Louie Louie. And if you ever hear that song, next time you hear it, you'll listen. The drums are bombastic on that song, okay? I mean, they are really something. So I was across the room and I heard this music, I heard this song, and something shot through me like a bolt of lightning or a electrical charge. And I ran to that record player and I just kept playing that song over and over. And in those moments, I knew this is what you do. You're a drummer, you're a musician, and you're going to be a musician and a drummer. And this is what you do. And I knew I could do it, and I heard it, and it just spoke to me. It was like a spiritual awakening kind of a thing. It was a real strange thing for a little 11-year-old girl, especially back in the 60s or whenever that was. but so they had to drag me away from the record player to be in the rest of the party, because I just wanted to keep playing that song over and over again. And I went home and I asked my parents, can I have drum lessons? And they said no. Well, I'm the oldest of 10 kids. That might be why they said no. But so I asked for the next best thing, which to me at the time was guitar. So they allowed that. They thought drums was a boy's instrument. Okay. So they allowed me to have guitar, and I took guitar lessons, and they ended up buying me a little acoustic guitar. I still have it. I write all my songs on it. A little Gibson LG1 acoustic guitar. And I did well with it. I did well with the guitar lessons and everything. But when I got old enough to get a job, I took my money and went to the mall and signed myself up for drum lessons. And nobody could believe, my parents, what have you, that that's what I was spending my money on, because that was in my heart. That's what I really wanted to do. And I was going to do it. I've always been that kind of person, even as a kid, I kind of do what I want to do,
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's how I got started playing drums. But playing the guitar, I started writing songs immediately too at that young an age. And so I've been writing songs since I was like 11, 12 years old. And I've been playing drums. And before that, before I actually had drums, since they said no, I would take my little transistor radio and go in the bathroom, because I had that good echo chamber, and there was a hamper in there. And I grabbed some of we had hat boxes. Back in the day, little girls had to wear hats to church. Okay. So we had hat boxes for our hats, and I would beat on the hamper and the hat boxes along to my transistor radio. So that's how I got started. Yeah. Wow. It was just something that happened to me. Music found me. I didn't find it.
That's cool though. Like we were speaking before, like you don't really find too many women drummers. And I'm like, wow, this is nice. I can't wait to have you on. I was like, I can't wait to chat about this.
It is like a sexually opposite kind of instrument, if you want to think of it that way. And so, because it's a little more physical in that you're using your arms and your legs, and there's that concussion, so it's a, it's a more aggressive type of instrument to play, So I guess that's why people think it's masculine. I don't know.
So have you like played any backup for like any big bands or anything? Like,
well, one of my first big professional jobs. I was young. I was a music major for a couple of years, and I dropped out and went on the road with the band. And then I had a manager who was also managing Eloise Laws, and she's a gorgeous woman, number one, and number two, her brothers are Hubert Laws and Ronnie Laws, and they're world-renowned jazz guys. I mean, Hubert, he's a musician's musician. He used to win the Downbeat Jazz Flautist Award every year. I mean, for decades. And he was the kind of guy who could play Montreux Jazz Festival one night and with the Pittsburgh Symphony the next night. He's a musician's musician, big time musician. And Eloise was on the Johnny Carson show. She did, she great singer, she great act. It was I was in over my head, I gotta tell you. I was like 21 years old, and my manager knew I had gone to college, so he realized I could read music. And Eloise wanted a rock drummer, not a big band jazz kind of drummer, because we picked up a big horn section. We had a big band, that was her thing. And so I could play her charts, and that was quite an experience. And then that was a New York City act too. And then after that, when my husband and I did move to New York, one of the first gigs that we had was with the Impalas, and that was Joe Speedo Frazier. And he had a hit song. The Impalas had one of the first number one singles that sold 1 million records, one of the first million-selling singles. It was called Sorry, I Ran All the Way Home. And it's a little before my time, but my husband's 8 years older than me, and he knew the song, all right? So we got to tour with him, and that was quite an experience. He was a great guy, yeah. Nice. So yeah. And the B-Girls, I was with them in the 70s or in the 80s in New York City. And Mick Jones from The Clash produced us, and they toured with The Clash. Deborah Harry from Blondie produced them, and they sang background vocals on a few Blondie songs that you would recognize. And Deborah Harry produced an EP for them also. So, my time in New York, I was there in the 70s and the 80s. Did my first solo album back then, and this album I have now is produced by the same gentleman, Dean Alan Sargent, who produced my first album. And we just talked. Today's his birthday, so I sang "Happy Birthday" to him this morning, my husband and I, and we're talking about doing our next album next year. So
yeah, nice. So can you tell our listeners what inspired your newest album that you was just talking about, Queen of Pittsburgh?
Well, the Queen of Pittsburgh thing, I'm not, just so everyone knows, when you listen to the song, you'll know. I'm not saying I'm the Queen of Pittsburgh.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek anyhow. Queen of Pittsburgh, it's not the Queen of England, it's the Queen of Pittsburgh. Come on. And so, but really what the song says is, I'm not going to stop kicking ass until they make me the Queen of Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I like
right.
that.
Yeah. So that's what the Queen of Pittsburgh is about, and that was from Dean. We wrote that together. That was his title and his idea. He came to Pittsburgh when we decided to do this album together, and his partner Michael Hennigan, production partner, my producers, and Michael was the bass player. Dean played some guitar and sang. They both sing and write, and they're artists in their own right. But and I'm lucky to have them. But they came to Pittsburgh. We showed them around town. We have a wonderful loft. I have a beautiful view of the city skyline, and they saw how much we loved our city. So on their way home, they live in the Poconos, which is like a 6-hour drive from Pittsburgh. So they were driving back to the Poconos, and Dean calls me. He says, "I have this idea for a song. It's called Queen of Pittsburgh." And I'm thinking, I didn't really want to do it in the beginning, because I thought, oh, here comes the hate, you know, all the local women. I was going to say bitches, but no, I won't. You know what I'm talking about. All the local people are going to be like, oh, now she thinks she's the Queen of Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? And he's like, no, it's, you know, here's. And so he had written like the first verse and chorus, and I wrote the rest of it. So he does that to me, this producer, Mr. Sargent, birthday boy. He'll call me and he'll say, Teddy, I have this idea. If you want to use it, use it. If you don't, you know, it's fine. You know, if you want to see if you can do something with it. And whenever he says that, I end up writing the song, you know, because he's a very talented songwriter. He's been writing he's my age, of course, and he's been writing as long as I have. So, I mean, between the two of us, we have over probably 100 years worth of songwriting experience, you know. So, and I studied songwriting at ASCAP and the Songwriters Guild in New York City back in the day. So, you know, I have a skill set. I kind of write like the old Tin Pan Alley songwriters. I write from titles, and I'm old school. You know, what are you going to do? I'm 69 years old. I'm not 29, so I don't write like they do today. But you wouldn't want me to, would you?
So can we find your newest album on Spotify? Because I'm definitely going to give this a listen to.
Oh, absolutely. Please go on Spotify. Tedi Brunetti, TEDI BRUNETTI, and follow me, please. And I have 2 videos out.
Ooh.
And yeah, and they're doing pretty well too. I mean, for somebody who, you know, is the Queen of Pittsburgh, you know, my age group and all that. I have wonderful video production people I'm working with. BMHAC, they're from New Jersey, and they're young guys. They're like 25 years old. They graduated from Rutgers University Film School, so they're bona fide filmmakers. We've won some film awards, you know, and different film festivals have music video categories, and we've been accepted in a lot of them, and we've won a couple, and you know, we're getting some traction with the video, but the videos are very well done. They're next level, you know, they're very well produced, like, you know, movies, you know. So and my songs tell stories, so they lend themselves to videos, and that's what I'm concentrating on now. My next video is going to be Queen of Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice.
So that song. I have one for Evil Woman and Eat, Sleep, Repeat, 2 of the songs on the Queen of Pittsburgh album. So check those videos out and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please.
I will. So do you also do the drums on your album too? You sing?
Oh yeah. I play the drums and I sing on all the tracks. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And I wrote all the songs, or co-wrote all those. So I co-wrote with Dean, like I mentioned, and there's 1 or 2 songs in there where my husband helped with some of the music, you know. But I wrote all the songs, and I sing. I'm the lead vocalist and the drummer. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to hear this.
Oh yeah.
Check this out. So I want to thank you so much, Teddy, for coming on my podcast today and chatting with me.
Are you kidding? This was so much fun, and I loved meeting you, Brooke. And if I wasn't doing this, how would I meet cool people like you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where may I ask you, where are you? What city are you?
I'm in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. You know, I went to Eastern Kentucky University.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, with Dr. Donald Cooper. I should have worn my UK shirt. I'm all about the basketball.
Oh.
About college basketball and football. A big UK fan. You know, Eastern's great, you know, but Kentucky. That's a basketball team, huh? And
Yeah.
I was actually accepted at the University of Louisville, the
You did?
Conservatory for Music. Yeah. And I didn't know enough at the time to go to accept it, but I got more money from Eastern. There was the percussion professor, Dr. Donald Cooper. He gave me a scholarship for snare drumming. There were less girls playing the drums back then than there are now. Okay, so yeah, he loved having a girl drummer in the percussion department. You know,
that's cool. That's cool. You have a great day, Teddy.
You too, Brooke. I love you.
Bye.
Bye, honey.
Hey, everyone. I want to thank you all so much for listening to my interview with Teddy. Like she said, I don't know why I keep forgetting to add the link on the banner. On the bottom. But go to my website. You can look up Teddy and you can see her newest release, Queen of Pittsburgh. And I hope you all check it out because I know I am. And you can check it out on all music platforms. She's on Spotify, Apple Music, everything. On YouTube, everything. Like she said, you can go follow her on YouTube and check her out. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for supporting me. And I hope you all continue to rock out. If you write music, continue to rock out. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye.